Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa, accompanied by members of his cabinet, will be in the small town of Carolina in Mpumalanga today. And this, of course, to engage with the local residents in the Presidential Imbizo. And this is something that was promised by the President during his State of the Nation address. Well, let's take you back to Carolina now. And this time we're crossing to our reporter, Natasha Piri. And she is there in Carolina for us. Natasha, good morning. And of course, earlier we heard from the mayor of Carolina, but of course now I believe you have the premier with you.
Definitely, SK. And actually, the president has just arrived. I'm actually joined by the premier, as you correctly said, and she quickly has to receive the president. So I'm just going to quickly get to this interview. Premier, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. Of course, this time around, the Presidential Imbizo has descended upon Carolina under the Gert Sibande local municipality. What issues do you think will be addressed as the president will be engaging with the people of Carolina today?
No, thank you for having us. Obviously, the DDM enjoins all of us as three spheres of government to come together and work together in a form of a one plan. And that suggests that every challenges that are encountered within our communities, we need to jointly address those matters, irregardless of which sphere of government is involved. And therefore, we know that service delivery happens at the coalface, which is at the local municipality. Now, what is expected of this one plan DDM model is that all the bottlenecks that are there within our respective municipalities, what is it that we are doing, working jointly as provincial, national and local government to address them? And it helps quite a lot, because what we have seen, sometimes you would find there's duplication of resources in one place, or rather in one project. Yet if we planned as one, we could have averted that and defrayed that money and put it elsewhere to be utilized optimally. Yes, the president will be looking at issues that has to do with water challenges that we are having around this area. We do have an issue of farm dwellers around this area, which might come up. The issue of sanitation, the unemployment rate, the economy that is not doing that well. So those are amongst the other issues I believe that the community around here will be raising. The issue of land might come in as well. But then that be as it may, we are here as directed by the Constitution that we need to continuously engage our communities, let them be part of our planning as government. Let us be seen to be responsive in addressing their plight, their challenges, whatever the mandate that we get as public representatives, we must derive it from the communities. The president is here to say, as your public representative who's been elected by your good self, what is it that is expected of me, from you, the people of Mpumalanga, so that as I go back, I reflect on those issues when I make allocation of money in the next coming years to come. So those are the things that the president would be more interested in. Of course, the issue of unemployment, the issue of the economy that is dwindling at this point in time would be at the center of the discussion that he would be mainly interested. And that will be factored into the national economic recovery plan as well. So yes, basically that's it. Just before he then proceeds to the main event where the Imbizo is, we are going to have as a prelude a meeting now with business sector, local business sector, big companies, medium and small companies, where we are going to be engaging each other to say that what is it that we ought to do, because we all have the responsibility. Us alone as government, we will not win this battle if we don't work with communities, we don't even work with our business sector. So from time to time, government must reflect the human face in the work that we are doing at all costs.
Premier, thank you so much for your time. Let me just also relieve you there. Thank you so much. Of course, SK, you've heard it there from the Premier of Mpumalanga. There is a meeting that will be held before that program at the stadium with the business sector. Of course, trying to create jobs. I mean, unemployment is a huge issue here, or a huge challenge in this municipality. We know that, I mean, nationally, Sakina, the numbers are 65.5% of youth unemployment in the country. And of course, this Presidential Imbizo seeks to, address such challenges. Of course, if the community of Carolina is actually interested in engaging with the president and the various ministers, they could head down to the local stadium. And that program, of course, starts at 11 a.m. Of course, as SABC News, we do promise to give you live coverage of this edition, the third edition of the Presidential Imbizo. So I do implore you to stay tuned to SABC News as we give you all the latest in regards to this story. With that said, it's back to you in studio.
Indeed, and we certainly will be crossing back to you, not Morning Live, but certainly the agenda and other teams. Natasha Piri, our reporter out in Mpumalanga in the town of Carolina. And as you heard there, President Cyril Ramaphosa has already arrived, and he and members of his cabinet, along with obviously the leadership in Mpumalanga province, will be engaging the community in the Gert Sibande District and the residents of Carolina in particular about some of their concerns, and also relaying government's plans in this regard.